Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Tyson and today I will be discussing what the 2026 NL Central will be looking like for this summer's MLB season. If you like what I've been doing on this page, please consider liking and subscribing. It will mean the world to me. Now let's get going with the video. Now let's start off with the 2025 NL Central champions, the Milwaukee Brewers. They have just came off their third consecutive NL Central title for the first time ever doing so. Also, they have completed a new franchise record of 97 wins in a single season. The Brewers right now, are currently in their prime, and you can think in your mind right now that they are well beyond and ready for the playoffs, and they're contenders, obviously. But also, not only are they contenders, they are consistent with making the playoffs. Like, for example, other teams like the Dodgers with Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge with the Yankees, and Bryce Harper with the Phillies. So if you are a Brewers fan right now, there is a lot to be happy about. You guys, obviously, like I said before, you guys made the playoffs during 2025, and you guys beat the Cubs 3-2 for the first time ever since 2018. Not only did they make the playoffs, but what else contributed for them? Their farm system. It's one of the best in the league, fourth in the MLB. It all comes tied with great player development in the Brewers that they have done for their rookies, and that needs to be talked about. But on the other hand, though, the Brewers have some stuff to keep an eye on, like Christian Yelich during the season has some issues with his back, which might affect his time with the Brewers. So that is going to be really just terrible for the Brewers, because Christian Yelich is a solid player. He has been consistent, and he has done all the right things. But also their rotation in the bullpen has not been very consistent also, and does not have much experience except Freddie Peralta, which they are going to need to build off of him in order to actually become more efficient and actually be competitive when it comes to pitching. So with all of this in your mind, I personally believe that the Brewers should finish second. Now, I say second because there is better competition, and I believe this division will be more competitive during the season, because you got the Cardinals, who is in the middle of their rebuilding era with their new general manager of baseball operations, Champ Bloom. The Reds are rebuilding, and the Pirates are still dumpster fire. But don't forget the Cubs. They are one of the best teams in the National League this year. So Brewers, you are going to be finishing in second. Speaking of the Cubs, as I was saying earlier, let's talk about them. Now, they did make the playoffs, and sure, yes, they did, but they got shut out by the Brewers 3-2, which is very disappointing. But let's talk about their season, though. They have just now, before I get to the season, just now, a few days ago, they have received Alex Bregman, third baseman, from free agency from the Boston Red Sox, for a 5-year, $175 million deal, which, if you are going to be looking at the Cubs' defense this year, their entire infield and outfield, they are going to be dangerous when it comes to defense. They are going to be one of the best defenses in the league, with Dansby Swanson at shortstop, Nico Horner at second base, P. Crow Armstrong at center, Kyle Tucker at right, and Seiya Suzuki at left. With all of this laid out, you are looking at one of the most efficient and productive defenses this season. But it's not only defense. No. They are going to produce better offense than they did last year. With, for example, P. Crow Armstrong. He had a heck of a season. 30 home runs, and he also stole 30 bags. So he has joined Sammy Sosa being the only two Cubs that are in the 30-30 club. But also another second baseman, but another second baseman for the Cubs, Michael Busch, hit also 34 home runs. But unfortunately, like I said earlier, they fell short for the Milwaukee Brewers. Very disappointing. It's sad. It's just a terrible way to go out, which I can personally relate to as a Cardinals fan. It's okay. But also, they lost a really great ace in Justin Steele. He had a solid season with the Cubs. He had a really great season. But it also does not get any better for the Cubs. Kyle Tucker is going to need to go to free agency, or the Cubs are going to make a move with them. They're going to either trade him, extend him, or not do anything at all, and he's going to go to free agency. So, if the Cubs are wanting to keep their defense, one of the best in the league, they are going to have to extend Kyle Tucker in order to maintain that. So with all of this in mind, I personally believe that the Cubs are going to be number 1 in the Central. Now, because they're just a better team. They have P. Crow Armstrong. They have who else? Nico Horner and Dansby Swanson on the team. Kyle Tucker if he gets extended. So I'm going to say the Cubs are going to be number 1. Because competition, it's going to be pretty easy for the Cubs. And for if they are going to be playing a divisional opponent. And 2, it's just they're the better team. So Cubbies, you are number 1, I guess. Now, let's head over from Chicago to the city of Cincinnati, which is home of the Cincinnati Reds. Now, the Reds, they're pretty complicated. But there is some stuff to unpack, but not much. The Reds, they are pretty decent at best as a team. But they only have one thing that really carries their team to where it can be Elly De La Cruz, one of the most popular players in the league right now. He hit 26 home runs, 160 hits recorded, and stole 67 bags. But also not only did Cruz contribute, also they have a really young roster with players like Matt McLain, Spencer Steer, Andrew Abbott, Noelvi Marte, and Hunter Green. So not all young people can be bad. Not all young players can be bad, but they have potential. They have potential to be a pretty solid team. But you can't. There is some downsides to the Reds though. Their bullpen cannot be consistent with their work. They have led the league in the less amount of strikeouts last year. So if you are in the bullpen right now and you cannot get strikeouts, and that is your job, and you're up in the majors, you're going to have to go back to the minor leagues because that is your job. That is your job, and if you cannot do it, like a certain amount of time, you're going to have to go back if you can't do it. Simple as that. But not only has the Reds not only has like some teams made some moves, the Reds have made some moves also. For example, they have done majority of them are extensions, like Emilio Pagan for a 2 year $20 million deal, and also Caleb Ferguson for a 1 year $4.5 million deal. There we go. And Pierce Johnson for a 1 year $6.5 million deal. So with all of this handed to you, I believe that you can assume in your mind that the Reds are going to be middle of the line. So, and considering what the competition is with, like, for example, the Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals, those are the big three for the NL Central currently, in my opinion. I believe that the Reds are going to be ranking fourth in the division. Now, the reason why I ranked them so low is not only is their bullpen like struggling to do strikeouts for some reason, but also they're just it's just too much for them to handle if they're gonna face a divisional opponent. Like, for example, the Cubs, one of the best teams in the National League. Brewers, one of the best teams in the National League. And the Cardinals, rebuilding, trying to become its older self. But I don't think they're gonna be their older self ever again. They just can't be like Cardinal Magic, you heard. So, Reds, you're gonna be number fourth. I may be right, or this is just gonna age like milk. It's just gonna age like nasty milk. Oh boy. Is it a time to be a Cardinals fan right now? I would say yes. We actually have a pretty decent manager. Because, let me talk to you about him. His name is Champ Bloom. I would say he's the savior for Cardinals baseball right now. And let me tell you why. He has actually cleaned house other than John Mozeliak. So, let me tell you about what he did. Traded Sonny Gray and Wilson Contreras to the Boston Red Sox in exchange for 5 pitchers. Those are separate trades. And also, he has traded away Nolan Arenado to the Arizona Diamondbacks, which I would say for the Diamondbacks, this is a win, because this will solve some problems for their infield, and also they're going to need to extend some contracts, which I will talk about in a later video. The Cardinals, let's talk about it. The Cardinals have proved themselves to be a decent young core with the likes of Mason Wynn, Alec Burleson, and Brendan Donovan. And I would say both of those, but three of those guys, Brendan Donovan, Mason Wynn, Alec Burleson, those 3 guys contributed the most in the season. They have done their jobs correctly. They have played defense. They've swung the bat, especially Alec Burleson. He did great. He did great during like June and July, I think. I think he did great in June and July. Anyway, not only do we have some rookies that aren't really good, do you know who developed them? Our farm system, which is one of the more underrated farm systems in the league, ranked 12th, which we have developed J.J. Weatherall, shortstop, third base, which I think we should make him a third baseman, because we need to cover that spot after Nolan Arenado left. And also we have developed a Quinn Matthews, and soon our first round pick, Liam Doyle. We will develop him too, which I would say Liam Doyle, the pitcher from the University of Tennessee, he is going to be a solid pitcher for the Cardinals. And I love this pick. Love it. Because he is one of the best, he is one of the more better pitchers in the SEC for baseball. He has done really solid. I've not watched his highlights, but I've heard that he is really good, so I'm trusting that. Anyway, But with all this, not everything can be good in this world. So last summer, Mason Wynn's season got cut short because of a torn meniscus, and also Jordan Walker and Nolan Gorman performed poorly, I would say, because they have not contributed much. Which they're trying. They're the faces of the organization right now. But I would say if I were Champ Bloom, I would send them back to AAA to develop better because they have not done great in the majors. So I would say AAA or Double A. Double A is the minimum, and AAA is the maximum because they need to develop. They need to develop better. They have not performed well in the majors. They're probably going to need more time actually handling what they are meant to handle so that they can actually start becoming decent again. So, with all this in mind, oh wait, I think I forgot something. Our horrible outfield, one of the outfield. I cannot express this enough. One of the worst in the league. We ranked dead last in the league, including every category, like home runs, runs batted in, and OPS. So, with all this in mind, I believe the Cardinals are going to be ranked third. Now, the reason why I say third is because, one, our competition, I believe that we can handle the Brewers and the Cubs. And also, two, we are just the middle deadline. Like, we're just dead center. If you can't move. We're basically in the Goldilocks zone. Like a little bit of this, meh, not good. A little bit of this, meh, not good. Just we're in the Goldilocks zone where we are right now, in my opinion. And also three, we have improved. We have added guys to our rotation, specifically pitching, yeah. And also we have what else have we done? And I think that's pretty much it. So I would say we're ranked third. So I believe if we got more pitching issues figured out, we get our young core learn a bit more, and then we can start winning games. And man, we could deal with our horrible outfield. With all those fixed, I personally believe that we can maybe, just maybe, turn back to our old ways of winning and actually make the playoffs. So Cardinals, you're in third. Please don't make me regret this decision. Please. And we have now gone to the last team in the Central. Also, we have a special guest, my cat, Rocket. Anyway, we are dealing with the doormat of the MLB. One of the worst teams to ever be assembled right now. The Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh boy. They are terrible. They have done nothing but sorrow, pain, and despair for their fans. But I would say right now, they are going to be resurging. Slowly. Keyword slowly. Slowly, but surely. Because I'm going to be telling you what the rebuild they're planning to do. They have received Brandon Lowe and Ryan O'Hearn from free agency, I think. I would say free agency. That will help the Pirates offensively so that they can actually get their bats going. Let's hope that they can actually do that. But now let's move on to the pitching side of things. The Pirates have a pretty decent rotation, I would say. Well, obviously you have Paul Skeens, who is an absolute monster, who pitched a 1.97 ERA, which I would say that is really good. That is really good for a pitcher. But you also have a veteran pitcher in Mitch Keller, who does have experience, sure, but he is starting to become washed. Now, not all things can be good in this world. The Pirates offensively ranked last, dead last, including home runs, runs batted in, and OPS. So now, with all of this in mind, the Pirates are going to need a major turnaround if they are actually going to be taken seriously this year. They have lost 20, they have been having a losing record for 29 out of their last 33 seasons, which is absolutely horrendous for a baseball organization. But the Pirates, I would say, if I'm looking at the bright side, they have pretty decent potential, but I just can't put them at 4. I just can't. So I'm going to be putting them dead last at 5th. I know they may have a young core that may do some things, but still, the cons just outweigh the pros. So, Pirates fans, I cannot relate to what you're suffering right now, and I am extremely sorry. So, here's a summary of the predictions of the NL Central. Brewers 1, Cubs 2, Cardinals 3, Reds 4, and the Pirates at 5. So let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are on these standings, and just give me your opinion. I won't do anything bad to you, I promise. And I'll try to post a video at the start of next weekend, so I hope that you will stay with me through this off season as it comes to a close. All right, I'll see you next video.